We finished restoring your early 1970s Mizuho Pachinko machine, and this quick start guide will show you how to set it up and play. Now you'll be putting yours in a cabinet, but for someone who has a Mizuho and is watching this video, you'll want to keep it, stabilize it so it doesn't fall over. So you can just take a couple of boards and screw them into the bottom and set it on the table. But in your case, you're going to be putting it in a cabinet, and we're mailing it in two separate boxes. So when you get the machine and the cabinet, you're going to take the whole machine and set it inside the hole of the cabinet. Set the bottom end first, just a little bit, not all the way, and then push the top in, and then gradually work all of the machine in a little at a time. If you push too much on one side, it'll pin itself in the cabinet, and you'll have to push it out a little bit and just slide the whole thing in together. And once you have it slid in, you want to slide it so that this laminate right here is flush with the wood of the cabinet. So if this was the wood of the cabinet, you'd want that flush. Then there will be two spots on both sides so you can screw through the cabinet into your machine and it'll stabilize it. We'll want to lock the ball drain lever in back. I'm going to zoom in on it. You have these two white levers here, and as balls go over the track, they push on those levers. Now right now they're unlocked, so any balls that go through would roll down this chute. To lock these levers, you're going to pick up on this metal here, lift it up. You can kind of see a notch right there in the metal. We're going to pick it up, pull it over, and then slide it down so that that notch fits there. And now these two arms are locked. Not on your machine, but on other machines, there might be right here a red or white piece of plastic that has two prongs in it. It acts as a fork, flips down inside the track here, and its purpose was to block balls so an attendant could work on the machine. You don't need that for home use, so you can take that part off, or if you have it there, just make sure it's flipped up. Replaced all your electronics with new wires and switches. Here's your battery. We'll go ahead and connect it. We'll just flip this over and touch it right now. And it operates a light bulb here and then another light bulb in the top. Just so you can see, we'll go in more detail later. I'm going to pull these back. I'm going to act like I got a jackpot by moving an arm, and you can see those lights flashing. The most common problem with Pachinko machines is the one ball seesaw in the wrong position. It may look like you're missing a cover here. In most Mizuhos of this brand, this part is missing, and your machine will function without the cover. It's a cover that goes here, and you don't need it. So there's a piece of metal back here, long rectangular. It's got two Pachinko balls in it that act as counterweights, and it tips back and forth like a seesaw, up and down. Right now it's in the wrong position. If it's ever in this position, balls will back up in your machine and they won't pay out. So to reset the seesaw, you can do one of two things. You could just reach right here. There's a little tab where that wire is going through. You can just lift up on that tab. The other way, the way it was originally designed to do, is there's a little plastic tab here. There's a ball here. It's bigger than a Pachinko ball. We lift up on this tab, and that ball drops over, resets the seesaw, and then when we let go of the tab, it falls back here. Now, depending on your model of Mizuho, you may have more of a blue back instead of an orange back. And if you do, you may have a cover over here. That cover you actually do need. Here's one off of a blue machine. You need it because of this track right here. Basically what it does is it catches the balls and it allows them and it redirects them down. On this particular model, you don't have to have a cover. There is a cover that can go there, but it doesn't function. It just sits there. There's no tracks or anything. The machine is ready to play. We're going to load balls up into the top supply tray. They'll roll across the upper track, the lower track, and enter into your jackpot assembly. And they'll stop there since we've locked the lever. Since your machine will be in a cabinet, you won't have to do this, but for others, you'll need to set a bucket back here to catch the balls. And the balls will fall through this chute here and through this chute here. So you need to center that. Now from the front of the machine, we just loaded the balls up into the supply tray and back, and you can see them through this window here. That's the Pachinko balls. So if you ever look through that window and you don't see anything, then it's time to refill the supply tray. Load some balls into the play tray. play Pachinko, you take your finger and you pull this chrome lever, you pull it all the way down, and then you quickly let go. And when you do, it'll launch a ball out onto the playfield. It'll go up this lane here, up onto the playfield. And you're trying to get it to go into one of these tulips here, or one of these pockets, and there's some more out of view. If it misses those, it'll drop through this hole here and exit in the back and drop in your bucket. Now the way these tulips work is right now they're open. When a ball goes in, they'll close. And when it's closed, if a ball goes in, it opens. Okay, we had a ball go in to this tulip. It paid out our jackpot of balls, and no matter where the ball goes in, any of these pockets, you always get the same number of balls, and then also the lights flash. So one of the things you like to try and do is try to get it to go down the middle, because if you can get it to go through the middle, if tulips are closed, it can potentially open them up. And if you don't pull down hard enough on the flipper, the ball just rolls back down into your receiving tray here. Now if you have someone who pulls back a little bit but doesn't let go quickly, they can do what's called loading multiple balls in the shooter lane. And if they do that enough time, there might not be enough power to launch the balls out of the playfield. I think I got about 4 or 5 in there. Okay, so one just barely came out and the rest rolled out. Now these old Mizuhos have an interesting shooter lane assembly mechanism, and sometimes it gets stuck, which is why they didn't use it for very long. So I've got plenty of balls in here. I'm launching, nothing's happening. You can even take your finger, kind of loosen the flow, try, and if that still doesn't work, then you're going to have to empty the balls out of your play tray so you can open the door and take a look inside. So we're going to do that by sliding this lever over to the left, and the balls up here will roll down here. Now to open the playfield door so we can get to the play tray door, there on this particular brand, there is a piece of a metal latch here, and you twist it, and it's just one pole locking the door. So we'll twist it, pops open the door, and now we have over here, there is a metal latch in the corner, and when we push down on that, then we can open this door, and this door flips forward. And I usually like to do 2 hands. I'm trying to get on the camera angle. Okay, so we flip that down. Let me zoom in. Okay, we have some balls here waiting to go into the shooter lane and down this ramp. You can see one ball there, and this metal arm is blocking it, and then there's another ball behind it. What has happened is when someone plays with the flipper and they do it several times real fast, or if they don't pull down all the way, this could jam, which is what's happened here. So you're just going to have to get a magnet or a screwdriver, or just carefully pull this ball out. I got magnetized tips. Okay, I pulled that one out, and you saw what happened. There was one here, it rolled, and that's how it's supposed to be properly. It rests up against that flat plate, and when you do that, it'll work fine. It had actually got between that plate as if it was starting to enter in the shooter lane. We'll go ahead and shoot. It'll fall on the floor, but that's okay. Okay, one shot, that arm pivoted, and another ball entered. We'll do it again. So that's how that mechanism works. Now to close the door, just in reverse, we're going to lift up on this. We're going to push down as we're closing it, so as not to put any strain on it. And we're going to push it till that's closed. Then we'll close this other one, and wherever the latch is, where it latches into that chrome frame, what I like to do is take my hands on either side of that latch and squeeze it locked.